It's once again me, your boy the man, NJ, to the city with the number 2, NTO. Into this Viewpoint show, let's rock it and let's go. Now, quick thing. Once again, shout out, God bless my dearly beloved little sister, Megan, who once again is the little sister to my good friend named Devin. Now, I'm writing her tribute song because once again, check out my last video of bonus tracks that could possibly make the Heart and Soul R&B album. I said that Megan won homecoming court as a freshman this year, and I'm so very happy and proud of her, and I wish her the absolute God's gift best at owning that honor and so on and so forth, like she always does, and just again shining on it, and again and enjoying the blessings, so forth and so forth. And other than that, like I say, bonus tracks, if I can get back to that, like I say, the bonus tracks of my legacy and my autobiography. Again, those bonus tracks have to do with the fact being, like I say before, if it was up to certain people, they would to tell my legacy at my funeral or wherever else for the remaining time of their life after I'm dead and gone, or at least physically, dead and gone. Like I said, I think a lot of people would never get the story right. The story, like for example, and I hate to, I guess, go this deep into it, but you're gonna hear about it in other songs. If I were to lose my mind and go out to the woods to, I guess, hibernate there or live there for however long and die out there, and you're probably like, Nate, why are you getting that deep into it? Why because again, you're going to hear about it in other songs while not exposed right now in these episodes of the Viewpoints. Everything that I be standing for is my legacy. Everything that I be fighting for is my legacy. I know that I am an overall inspirational, positive, loving, caring person, but as I'm going to reveal in other episodes of the Viewpoints, which I'm about to release hopefully in the next few hours, I still go through my anxieties, go through my hungers, my pains, my frustrations, my annoyances, and so on and so forth, my feelings of love, passion, inspiration. I go through all these normal human emotions. I do call myself a new breed, but as well, I still go through these normal human emotions that still, I guess you could say, make me normal, make me, I guess you could say, normal, human, or just make me, a real person, so forth and so forth. But if I ever were to go out there, lose my mind, and go out there and hibernate in the wilderness for however long, I need people to be able to, because a lot of people are going to have questions about why, who, what, when, where, and how, why. You get the point. You can turn into a little investigation if you wanted to. So one of the type of reasons I do the music that I do is so if you ever were to turn it into an investigation, you can scroll back into these catalogs and find out hopefully the answer to what you're looking for when it comes to why I did, what I repped, what I stood for, what I fought for, and whatever else. Like again, it's like saying my legacy again. The pictures of my legacy are painted within the music, painted within these videos, and so forth and so forth. These are real emotions of which I be having when it comes to possibly losing my mind and going out and hibernating in the wilderness. You probably call that crazy and probably mentally insane, but at the same time, you all know just as well as I do, you have your ticking points to where you're just driven over the edge and enough is enough and you're looking for that escape, so forth and so forth. And like I say, I understand that these things that I'm saying now would definitely be called into question when it comes to me applying to be a volunteer. Like, okay, should we really let this kid into our school to mentor our kids? Yeah, you still should, because I can still give them a lot of good advice on how to navigate and survive through these circles of life, especially if they're young kids as like freshmen. I can still give them a lot of helpful tips and words of advice for ways to hopefully help navigate through these circles of life that we go through, that helps make us us and help us mold us towards the next 10, 20, 30 years. Because I'm not just here with every kid to help get them to the finish line. I'm here to help them get to the finish line and start running from there. And when I say start running from there, that means where you're building your businesses, you're living your life, you're traveling the world, you're building a family, you have a successful career, so forth and so forth. The next 20, 30 years after you graduate high school or even college is not going to be a rut. It's not going to be like a, how did I ever get here? Negatively, because it's like you're living in a rut. You're living with, all this negativity and all this. It's just, you get the point, all this negativity, all this filth and all this, just, all those things. I'm here to help those kids legitimately hit the ground running, you could say. Again, get across the finish line, get across that stage with your diploma, but excel for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Planning your retirement and, raising your kids with a successful life and understanding what entrepreneurship and raising your kids to be young entrepreneurs, young engineers, young scientists, young designers, young crafters, young builders, young welders, young whatever. You get the point. I'm not here to just look out for myself. Which is one of the top things that I've been told by many people to just do is look out for myself. Guess what? That's not what I'm here for. God ain't planted me on this earth every day of my life. Just look out for myself. All you next generation kids, freshmen, sophomores, kids in middle school, elementary, high school, college, whatever. I'm here to look out for y'all. Help look out for y'all, make y'all help do what I can to help learn, build, and grow with y'all. We are a family. I would die for it, die for you, so on and so forth. You get what my main point here is. I'm not overall selfish. I have my moments of being selfish, of being petty and childish, but overall I'm a very loving, caring, compassionate person who cares so much about the youth. This is the limits that I'm willing to, this is what I'm willing to divulge, and the limits that I'm willing to go to help y'all, and, in any type of way I possibly can. Because like I say, I'm real, y'all real. Let's be real together. Let's learn, build, and grow, and continuously being as real as we can, and honorable as we can, and prosperous and cautious and vigilant, and you get the point, successful and encouraging as we can to other generations, past, present, and future. And let's own this thing together. We can do this. We can dominate this, and we can just star and shine in it always, all the time, so on and so forth. And that's why I said before, like I'm telling you, if my legacy was left up to a lot of other people to tell, they'll probably tell you, oh, that's what happens when you're negatively rebellious and you're disobedient and you're this and you're that. No, they're not going to tell you the full dialogue of what you need to know. I've always stood up for, well, actually, if not always, over the past 4 years, I've definitely grown into the figure that, the father figure, the role model, mentor, the big brother figure. I've grown into these figures that stands up for righteousness, stands up for fairness, responsibility, integrity, accountability, hospitality. All these things that, like I say, if you exercise, there wouldn't be any need for, certain security measures, because everybody knows how to love, care, and respect each other. Because I'm telling you, to live a pure life, if you ask me, it ain't hard. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. I might just make a song called It Ain't Hard. It's not. To live a pure life, it ain't hard. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm telling you, it ain't hard. To live a pure and clean life, it ain't hard. It ain't hard. That's a lot of y'all be like, Nate, that's easier said than done. Guess what it probably is? What I'm telling you, for me, at least the way I look at it, I believe in it, living a pure and clean life, it ain't hard. It ain't hard. Never was, never will be hard. You just have to look at new and innovative, creative, genius, smart ways to once again do right by God, do right by yourself, do right by your friends, your neighbors, do it right by everybody. That's, if you ask me, that's how you live a pure and clean lifestyle. Is how can you do right by God? How can you do right by yourself? Actually, okay, if I was going to directly number these, number one, how can you do right by God? How can you effectively put God first and prosper? How can you do right by your family? How can you do right by yourself, your neighbors, and whatever else? How can you do right by people? Again, God is first on that list, by the way. If you ask me, put your, but I don't know, I'm not going to tell you where to put yourself on that list, but definitely put your family second, put God first, and your family second on that list. I can definitely tell you that. Put and so forth, so forth and so forth. And get the point. But it ain't hard to live a pure and clean life. You just gotta keep looking at ways to get things right, correct, get things moving and running smoothly and innovative. It was never hard. People just make it hard because of their stubbornness. Because of their stubbornness and not willing to look at every possible measure. their one-sidedness, their hypocrisy, their negative entitlement. You heard me, negative entitlement. Because again, if you hear in the last video, again, I got some entitlement too, but my entitlement all has to do with, again, on ways to be innovative, on ways to be creative, on ways to help all things work together. Like Lecrae's new album, All Things Work Together. It's my entitlement comes from righteousness, justice, loyalty, hospitality, respect, the right thing to do, the honorable thing to do, what's pleasing to God, you know, what's going to help me in my future, what's going to help my family's future to eat better, to live better, to talk better, to act better. That's where my entitlement comes from. Doing better and getting better in every facet of my life. That's where my entitlement comes from. Not thinking that, oh, since I'm black, I should be the first one picked on the basketball team. Oh, since I'm black, I'm automatically going to be a good quarterback, a good wide receiver. So you should automatically start me. That's not my entitlement. Not at all. You know, that's not at all. That's not my entitlement. My entitlement comes from being righteous, honorable, fair, bringing justice to these crimes that, again, look at the evidence. Somebody was crooked. And sometimes it's not the person that's, again, going to jail. Sometimes it is legitimately the judge or whoever else. You get the point. Fighting for so many people. Again, I've looked at multiple 60-minute specials, I think, or at least a few, or at least the last one I looked at, where there's like how many dudes in jail. And actually, the ones that, good majority of them were black, by the way. But you get the point. You go to a lot of jails out there, and you can actually look and see how many of these dudes, they don't deserve to be there. Or at least if they did, they didn't deserve to be there for as long as they're there. The majority of them are waiting for their call up to court so they can fight for the right to get out. And it's just amazing how that entire process and system even works. How many people don't deserve to be in jail, but they are in jail. And it's like, why? How? Sometimes it's just being in the wrong place in the wrong time. Like, you're not even doing nothing wrong, but it was just being in the wrong place in the wrong time. And other stuff like that. Sometimes it's being framed, there's many cases to it. But yeah, that 60-minute special that I watched, it was like a table full of black guys, honestly, and they was talking about, again, they all have families, and other stuff like that. Families, kids, and and how their kids are, growing up without a father right now because they're in jail and other stuff like that. And now majority of these people, they're waiting for their court trial to get out, and they've been there again, God knows how long. Again, bring justice to all these crimes. Bring justice to all these court cases. Bring justice to it. And again, that's where my entitlement comes from. If you ask me, I do believe in trying to help save as many people as I can from damnation. Yes, I said it. I said that. And by the way, damnation, I wouldn't say is. I think if you just say the first half of that, it's a curse word. I would say because it really depends what type of phrase you say it in. Trying to save everybody from damnation, that's not really cursing, actually. You can take whatever way you want to, but that's just what I stand up for, and that's what I do. Every day of my life, I'm trying to save everybody from damnation, honestly. As many people as I can. And again, that's actually what you're called to do, especially as a Christian, that's what you're called to do. You're called to be a fisherman of men, a fisherman of souls. To help steer people in the right direction towards Christ and towards a better, prosperous, pure and clean, fruitful, once again, unashamed, God-first life. That's what you're called to do. And that's what every day I fight for, and I will continuously fight for, and I will die for. Because again, I'm not afraid to do these things a lot of the people are afraid to do in order to get justice and whatever else. I do believe, I'll go to the ends of the earth to do certain things, that will prove how serious and committed I am to helping better the culture, help better people. Again, it's way more than just about me. This is about generations, a ton of generations, and I want them to die and fight for them, for their rights, their fairness, hospitality, respect. I want them to die for it, fight for it. You get the point, so forth and so forth. So this might as well be titled Bonus Tracks Part 2 to a certain degree. And like I say, I love each and every last one of y'all. More new music coming soon. Again, the Heart and Soul R&B album is the one that's supposed to be released over this weekend, homecoming weekend. And again, more new music coming soon. God bless. Once it's unashamed, your boy the man, Angel Titty City out. God bless. Take care.